Hello everyone, and welcome back aboard the night train for part 3 of this 10th anniversary retrospective. And today we're going to be going through what was the biggest undertaking I ever did on this channel, and that is my series Sodor, The Magic Within. As a series, the views that this got just outdid everything else, even the BoCo video. The penultimate episode is the second most popular video I've ever released at just under 200,000 views. And people are still coming to it to this day, still commenting about the story and things. So there's still a lot of love here, a lot of love that I've not necessarily acknowledged myself in recent years. So today, I thought I'd sit, chat about it with you for a bit, give it another rewatch and let you know my thoughts on it today. And maybe even show a few little bits from that period in time at the end, so make sure that you stick around if you're interested in seeing that. The Magic Within was, I don't want to say it was spawned from Ffarquhar Yards, but that's when the ball kind of got rolling. For Ffarquhar Yards, I wanted to do a special feature-length episode that was more action-based. Brought Diesel 10 back because I had a model of Diesel 10 that I had not used up until that point. So I wanted to fold him into the model videos that I was doing and started looking at a way to do that. And me also being a bit of a big music fan as well, there was this one track called Wheel of Time by the band Blind Guardian. The instrumental version of that track was just very orchestral, very, let's say, it would have suited an action scene absolutely perfectly. So I began thinking about action scenes I could do with the models, what I could realistically pull off, what I couldn't, and started drafting this sort of feature-length episode about Diesel 10 for Ffarquhar Yards called The Monster of the Mainland. But despite going through several iterations of that, it felt like I was trying to create a story to justify making an action scene, rather than making an action scene that elevated and drove a particular story. So I parked that for a while and just focused on Ffarquhar Yards. And then I got the idea of just doing more of a straight-up sequel to Thomas and the Magic Railroad, except this time folding in all varieties of Thomas canon to basically create something that was a homage to every iteration and style of Thomas we've seen over the years. So the classic series characters, the CGI characters. Because of my time in the TCC, I now had access to the pack and to the Great Race characters as well. So, yeah, the Railway series as well. How could I forget the Railway series? Yeah, there was definitely Railway series characters thrown around in there. And just see what I can make that was a more theatrical, feature-length celebration of Thomas. And from there, The Magic Within was formed, again, harking right back to the Magic Railroad. And I just got lost in drafting this series. At one point there was up to 12 episodes, featuring a lot of different character arcs and interactions that then I had to cut down, draw back, make it actually a realistic expectation of what I could make as well. Yeah, hone in the ambition, so to speak. And it eventually became the 9-part mini-series that was released on the channel, each episode at least 14 minutes long, I think, so they were far longer than the Ffarquhar Yards episodes. And managing that production was a job unto itself. Unlike Ffarquhar Yards, everything was a temporary set, so it had to be built, filmed on, taken down. All the characters had their own individual voices, so I had to coordinate, recruit, coach, direct voice actors as well, get all the lines in, stitch it all together in editing software. So that was a massive change of production style for me. I had to actually plan everything start to finish, what was going to be shot when, what voice acting was going to be in when, and try and coordinate everything in a massive production timeline while I was studying full-time as well. So as a student, budget what's a budget. Mostly I just used what I could, or whatever the cheapest modelling material I could get my hands on was. So there are a lot of maybe set design choices that I potentially am not too fond of now. But yeah, that's a little bit of behind the scenes for the Magic Within. I'll go into some more of the, let's say, cut sections of the scripts later, as well as the props and things, but it's a long series. I'll just get on with my rewatch, give you the highlights of the running commentary I give to that, and yeah, we'll just see where we go at the end of it and how it's looking in the great year of 2025. Oh god. Time just vanishes when you get distracted by everything else in life, so yeah, pay close attention to what you're giving your attention to, if that makes sense. Anyway, Magic Within time. Already those first few shots are such a change in tone from Ffarquhar Yards. And we're right back at the Magic buffers for the first time since 2000. That's my custom junior figure and custom buffers. They actually look pretty good. Writing quick and to the point. That's much better than we saw in some of BoCo. Not the best panning camera work. My scaled dinosaur models in the background. Not 00 gauge, but at least to some sort of scale. It's a very solemn tone to this, isn't there? Unlike the classic series feel of Ffarquhar Yards. A more show-accurate take on Ffarquhar, but on a temporary set this time. Philip. I made him just in case the TCC needed another model. He's actually just a balsa wood body on a tram chassis. But it worked well.
Those two trucks alone are the same as 6 Sodor trucks. Who are they for?
The groundwork for Vinny being laid. Definitely not within British loading gauge, that's for sure. No guard's whistle.
Good luck.
It's almost like you can pinpoint the exact era of Thomas you're looking at just by the music playing, and it just changes the feel completely. And I love the Magic Railroad soundtrack so much.
Controller has cancelled all trains.
What? All of them? That's a lot of trains. Well, what about
That controller does have a lot of trains. Probably more than he needs for a small island. Oh, there's another Sodor poster there with Rheneas on it. Oh, and the foreshadowing in the crowd. Hey, a little bit of green screen at play there with my Urtul Sir Topham. You can definitely tell that after the model range, Urtul was my go-to favourite range. I might do a video on that in the future. God, that grass mat has actually kicked up so many loose grass fibres, hasn't it?
a new king? Who could it be?
Scots would never dare attack nowadays. It's our second home. Isn't that right,
I think, was it the Island of Sodor book I pulled for this bit of lore? I tweaked slightly so that there was story potential. I'll have to give it a reread. Publishers, just reissue it. I don't want to rely on a PDF file. I want a physical book.
Just bravo!
Ooh. Ghost.
Oh, and one more thing. Thank you to my angels for listening. You may return to your duties.
Won't you need to adjust the timetable accordingly? Or is everything just going to run late? Mild oversight on my part.
Parts of the diesel works. BoCo, would you mind taking Edward to the steamworks, please?
Yeah, Daisy was never my best runner, so I think I just had to park her and write her out of this one, if I'm honest.
What does the guard's whistle sound like?
Surely you know that, Paxton.
Like that. Oh, what? Try and do it smoothly.
No, yeah, I upgraded to a... is it... I can't remember the brand, but I've better Trevor at this point. Oh, Dingley Holt. I use so many Metcalf buildings and platforms in this. I think that's why I've been sworn off of them, because of just the flat card effect. I prefer the embossed card and to build my own things nowadays. Rare shot of the other end of Ffarquhar. We only see that in a few Series 5 episodes.
Who's that? I don't know. But he has to come here. I was just doing my job.
Says everything that happens in this series because Paxton was too efficient a worker. That's an ironic way of looking at it.
It seems like you've made progress.
Ah, and this track, Frost by Enslaved. I always found this track really haunting as a child, so it became Osborne's sort of unofficial theme.
You threatened to take away Pinchy and to make me like diesels so much on the mainland. And here you have got a new diesel works, and there are diesels pulling
Day of the Diesels reference. I never really liked the Diesel Works set in the CGI series, which is why I didn't try and recreate it here. There we go. That was a pretty good first episode, I think, all things considered. I certainly set up a lot of Chekhov's guns to fire later in the series. Yeah, plenty of mystery. So we'll see. Episode 2. Something in the air. Me and my puns. Oh, little finger there. That made it into the final cut. Trying to operate this with fishing wires was horrific. I couldn't afford more realistic rubble than that, unfortunately. Annie and Clarabelle, cannon fodder.
I have to find out what he's up to.
Let's see if Thomas wants a race.
The movement on that level crossing.
I'm not getting involved in that.
Neville. I really just had all the characters out to play. When did Thomas have a crossover on his branch line? I don't know.
Watch out!
That was dangerous. We were almost smashed to smithereens.
Annie and Clarabelle. In this instance, not being dramatic at all. They're quite on point. Hey, Ffarquhar Yards. Oh, no, not Ffarquhar Yards. Hey, Ffarquhar Sheds.
Oh, Junior, it's been since lady.
I forgot I did that. I wrote Lady out of the series by putting it in the sheds that were destroyed and Rusty in the boulder. I couldn't get a working model of her, so I thought having her gone is the next best thing, but... Oh, that is savage. That is savage. I couldn't remember how I did it, but... What was I smoking? I don't smoke, I've never smoked, but metaphorically, what was I smoking?
Thanks, my man. I'll be in touch.
Guy Machine did a great job as, well, all the characters he voices.
Is this what you were looking for?
I still have that paper tray upstairs.
Seems to be here. Everything except... He's taken my paper tray.
Not the paper tray.
Name.
What name, sir?
Head straight to the museum.
I guess Thomas's next train just isn't happening then. Plot takes priority. Tidmouth tyres in the background. Slightly squiff face there.
A long brown coat,
Oh well.
and carrying a briefcase.
I don't know. But they spend a lot of time together.
Ooh.
Do know Diesel 10 broke
That line
into
hasn't
the
aged well.
controller's office and
You ask lots of questions anyway. You'd be perfect.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Point made. Shark brake van. Forgot I had that. I had a lot of just random rolling stocks to try and flesh out the scenes. Most of it's since been replaced.
and what became of the Stanleys?
I didn't have Stanley at this point in any capacity, so I guess that was a little nod. Not much of the great discovery in this, so that might be it.
Oh, bother that telephone. I know what that will be about.
Oh, the telephone follows him around, it seems.
forgot how many other things I have to attend.
Oh, that was a jumper track, wasn't it?
He was my manager from when I worked on the mainland. He told me where the work needed doing, and I got the job done.
Diesel 10 backstory time. We never got this in the Magic Railroad, so
Hunting.
Hunting what?
this was an interesting thing to include.
I'm after steam had been completely withdrawn from the other railway.
More on my dad's models,
Locals ran
including a
until their
Garrett.
lifespan was up.
Nice.
Then they were taken to the scrap.
All some in the wrong livery again, though,
Used
for the end of
with
Steam.
Sodor keeping steam traction in use, so engines known as rogues would try to escape there, driven by crew.
On this track, the Pentecostal by Dayside. I can really tell I was into the dark stuff around this time.
So bad they wanted an engine capable of taking care of them.
It's a reversed piano track.
We stay as I was. He had no idea about my mainland history. He had to go on holiday
Really?
almost immediately. And I tried to finish what I was created for with purple engine resurfaced,
Oh. Magic Railroad flashback.
but it went wrong. The Fat control threatened to send
The barge.
me back to the mainland, so it gave me a second chance to rediscover what it meant to be an
You
engine.
can't fit in that shed.
Left Pinchy intact.
Some answers and still some more questions. On to episode 3, The Unravelling. Tidmouth milk. Doesn't look like the dairy in the show, but close enough.
So he's near Crosby?
This is me trying to use a lot of Sodor as well in this series. Not just a lot of characters, but a lot of Sodor as well with what I had. There's a lot of repurposed buildings, which you've probably noticed. Here we go.
What?
Vinny, the big man himself.
Told me this was my new railway. Can't I just get back on the
And Louis, an original character I devised after going to Thailand and seeing the real engine.
It'll be
He
like
seemed to work thematically, and I wanted a model of him to actually run, as the real thing is just rusting away, static on display, on static display.
Why don't you look where you're going, shrimp?
I'm not Shrimp. My real name is Montague, but the other engines call me Duck.
Oh, Duck.
I
You
can't
misunderstand.
tell if you're insulting yourself or not. This place is bananas. It can't possibly get any worse.
Little does he know.
I'm sorry about him. He respects no one but himself.
I see.
I do really like Louis as a character and an engine. I should have him out to play more. Salty.
New engine barged right through like a ship onto the rocks.
Salty was one of those engines that I only got because of my collaborations with the TCC, so I thought I'd make some good use of him. Ah, the figure with the fat controllers can to stand on. We are number one. That was such a meme around this time, wasn't it?
Steam on Sodor.
This version, though, seemed to work quite well in context of the scene.
I don't know. We need to find out what
There's so much in here that actually just stamps it to a period in history, isn't there? Those sort of mid to late teens heading towards the 2020s.
Whatever they're up to, none of them are.
Are you sure I'm near the engine?
Yes, we need to know what they're up to before it's
Throw back to the Magic Railroad. I thought this was quite a smart decision to use Toby in that way again. If a bit, maybe, expected.
Okay, I'll do my best.
I have a train of new parts for Daisy that need to go to the diesel works.
Oh, Daisy's issues coming back into play as a plot point. Maybe I thought it through a bit more than I remember.
Strong enough to take diesel parts, and it's a long way.
Don't worry, there's plenty of stops.
It's only 2 wagons.
Time for trouble reference. God, I really just pulled through from the entirety of Thomas for making sure the dialogue made sense, didn't I? Did I go to university to study science, or did I study Thomas? Neil cameo. God, I really got everyone out, didn't I? Wilbert. Original Wilbert, not Wilbert Mark II. Oh, the questions of sentience.
I've noticed a lot of wagons and road vehicles with faces here.
Why do you think that is? Why do we have a face and can talk, but not all vehicles can?
Percy is finally asking the important questions.
To do with how they're engineered.
No, we just fix up engines and they seem to become sentient.
So the original title of this series was The Sentience Chronicles, because it was diving into this idea of what gives some engines their sentience but not all vehicles. And when I decided to make it a straight-up Magic Railroad sequel, I melded that into the Magic Railroad lore instead and changed the title.
It's a mystery.
So yeah, what you're seeing here is started off as The Sentience Chronicles.
You want to help?
I'm sorry, but I have to get back to my own railway. That line doesn't run itself.
Unfortunately, Wilbert's not run on that line for years either.
You shall.
I would love to see him running, but I guess a cosmetic restoration is better than nothing. Thank you, Akira Scale. I'm not buying your Wilbert model, but thank you. I decided I prefer the look of the DJM one, because it has the red reverser rod. That's a big letdown that Akira Scales didn't have that. Digressing, that was a mountain engine. Wonder where Oliver was taking the mountain engine. I don't know.
Oh my, there's so many vehicles with personalities.
New engine has cottoned on immediately.
They came from a different country, the one I had been built in before being shipped to Thailand after completion. They had no respect for others. And that is how I developed a great respect for others myself.
There you go, some more real-life history for the new character,
Okay,
Louis.
nice meeting you.
Japanese occupation of Thailand during the Second World War was the inspiration for that, and actually fitted in thematically with what I want him to be as a character, so it all sort of worked really naturally together.
As greeting fades from shores so near.
Smallest whistle. Enemies. An invasion.
That booming is starting to annoy me. Why was I so obsessed with including that in every episode? Every episode so far, at least.
Could our sentience be linked to the gold dust?
Percy mispronunciations strike again.
The railroad itself is the best place to look for answers.
Random subtitle. I guess that was just for clarity. I guess Daisy's new part is a new dummy bogey. That definitely won't fit, but oh well. Dart is a speed demon. There was no way I could slow him down properly for this.
Parts for Daisy. I can take them inside for
He
you.
has a custom built tram chassis that is just 0 or 100. Mavis, another free model that I made use out of where I could.
So I checked the censuses on the mainland. I've gotten promoted and now work as an
Privatization strikes.
track record.
Fictional private company.
Railways.
Maybe Toxie get away with it.
That's quite an cool accident. Oh, throws the brake van. Oh. Oh dear. Toby's really pissed Diesel 10 off.
Can't outrun me. I can chase you till your boiler dries up.
What? Oh no.
Pop goes the Diesel, but horrified. Oh, that's the start of my mild obsession with cliffhangers. But it's got nothing on the next one. The next one seemed to break the Thomas community for a while.
We leave him, but move quickly so our actions are completed before he's found.
Fine.
Not the best line there,
Stunt like
but
this and
get the gist.
Oh dear. I failed.
Surely Toby would be a bit relieved he's not been murdered, but hey ho.
Junction.
Philip's in this a lot more than I remember.
Good.
And I made better use of him than the TCC did. He's not just
Nowhere hit ya.
unbearably annoying in my series, at least. Way to blow my own trumpet there. Nice detail. Drivers communicating with each other here,
Straight to the air.
as well as the engines.
Stop them.
I'll tell the Fat Controller. Paxton and Thomas, go after him.
Right.
So such an interesting trio of protagonists. 2 diesels, 1 steam. 1 failed diesel, 1 ubiquitous diesel, and 1 unique steam engine. Henry cameo. There's a few rough cuts in here that I seem to have missed when I was making these, but can't change them now.
No need. I'm the strongest engine in the world. A brake van will
Are
only
you?
slow me down.
But what if the truck stop?
Shut it, pipsqueak!
But you've got a gas tanker.
It's actually a grain tanker, but for the purposes of the story, I just thought it was filled with gas. You can predict the big boom that comes, can't you?
He's just let that little blue tin kettle get away to tell Sutapam hat. He's a meddler.
You can tell they're cut from the same cloth, or were, but not anymore.
But I swore never to scrap a diesel. Is this true?
You're going to believe this buffoon? He's allied with the steam engines.
Well, that wasn't a no.
Ooh.
Come on.
Paxton's
Won't scrap
bluntness
it. Take me back
actually
to
comes in
the
handy
house
there.
and get this deal in effect as soon as possible.
Fine. Diesel 10, stop. What do you think you are?
One thing a lot of people didn't notice is that Batman is hidden on this set.
I was built to end
I think only a handful of people have actually commented saying they spotted him, but Batman is hidden on this set.
But privatisation will eliminate most of my diesel traffic.
Let me know if you see him this time round.
We don't use engines like you on the mainland anymore.
Violence.
What are you doing?
Human on human violence. There's Batman.
I can
Do you see him?
So you're coming with me.
You think Batman would step in, but no, he doesn't.
Diesel 10 and go after him.
This goes against so many railway regulations.
I love that's what BoCo's worried about.
Mainland one way or another.
Rule 55, after all. We know he knows it.
Diesel 10, wait. I can't keep up.
That was a little dig at Magic Railroad about a Class 42 keeping up with an E2 going way faster than it should be. This is where all that build-up from the first episode comes together. And I made a bit more of a hill than this rather than just relying on camera angles. That's actually an impressive destroyed set with a bit of obvious green screen, but luckily no one was hurt. They're still alive, but Thomas is a bit of a ruin. If I had just left it there, left that as the series finale, how riled up do you think all the viewers would have been? Anyway, before we move on, I thought now would be a very good time to show I do still have the Ruins Thomas from the end of this episode. So, I think this was a nun-runner I bought off someone, and I just attacked him with a soldering iron to really roughen him up, make him look like heat has just blasted him. He's got bent and melted whistles. Missing buffers. The funnel was attached, but it's now come off. His coal, though, didn't catch a light. That's interesting. But, yeah. Still got him. Not used him for anything, but he is still here. Episode 5 starts with the rewind. So we see a little bit of what was happening at around the same time Thomas got blown up. That's the little grotto from the Magic Railroad. And we're back at the magic buffers.
I must be brave.
Taylor the Brave reference, maybe? I can't remember. That's actually quite... bit of colour grading, some sparkles. Magic Railroad, I guess. That's all you need.
Golden is a substance made by the magical energy given to the railroad by the guardian, and is used by the conductor family to travel.
Some answers. The track looks golden, which is a nice touch.
Energy in its pure form. The railroad's energy breathes life into the emotions a designer puts into their piece. Some vehicles were not designed from the heart, so there's nothing to bring to life.
I do still like that explanation. Audrey created all the characters from his heart, pretty much. You can tell he put his heart into them. And that really helps them jump to life on the page and on the screen. So, it makes sense. This makes sense. Shaky cam.
The guardian,
Mr. Conductor said Lady passed the guardianship on.
her heir has suffered a similar fate.
That's when we find out Thomas is actually now the heir of the Magic Railroad, the Guardian. And everybody feels it. Stuff gets serious now. As if it wasn't before. Byron cameo.
This was all my fault, sir. If I hadn't helped Osborne, none of this would have happened.
You think that's a nice twist. Diesel 10 is no longer the villain. I mean, the TCC did it, but I don't think they did it quite as well.
I thought it's what I was meant to
Not
do.
with a lot of character layers, at least.
So purpose.
I'm from a railway called Death Railway in Thailand. It is famous for the horrors that formed its foundations, committed by my own home country. And I was one of the first engines to be taken to.
There's a little bit more of Louis' real life influenced backstory.
As one who sees myself above the lives of others. Instead, I let it shape me to respect the lives of others. Every life has value, and you must respect its existence. I have a cowcatcher.
I don't want shit to get political, but seeing how things have deteriorated in recent years, I think that this is a message that needs to resonate a lot more than it currently does. Yeah, there's differences, just respect everyone, be decent, don't vilify anyone. It's just basic common sense. Tinfoil sea surface there.
Where are you going, Vinny? I mean, it's kind of your fault that Thomas got hurt, and that they got away.
Paxton's accidental call out.
Doing no such thing.
Very fast.
I've always thought Vinny is one of the most psychopathic characters the show ever introduced, which is probably why we never really saw him outside of the Great Race. Just watch that film and focus on Vinny and you'll see what I mean. He takes a lot of pleasure in the pain and terror of others.
You're walking a fine line, pal.
There we go, another unusual pairing. My original TIE engine and a claw-wielding Class 42. Oh, don't even talk to me about high ticket prices in our year of 2025. 35-minute train journey, that'll be over £20, sir. You want to spend an hour and a bit on a train? That's £50, sir. You want to spend an hour and go to London? That is £120, sir. Slightly more detailed, fat controller figure there. Back to Barrow we go. Nice little BoCo throwback. Jurassic Park, The Lost World, M-Class Mercedes there. I did throw in a few little vehicle cameos here and there, didn't I? Enter our villain engine.
Well, well, well. Look what's crawled out of the air intake.
Ooh, bowled out.
You'll be taken to the scrapyard.
Apparently BoCo heard about that.
He won't turn his back on the railway.
BoCo being a selfless, courageous figure there. Now we have our use of larger scale figures for the humans. This was a new one for me. Which station is that?
I'll fax the document through now.
Oh yeah, I just stuck pictures on my skirting board and used that for scale where I lived, because this was filmed across 3 different houses because I had to move twice. It was not a simple process.
We were meant to replace
Bowled out flashback.
work alongside it. And it was those steam engines that ruined my life.
My homemade Vickerstown bridge set. That was an interesting one to use and build. It's very CGI inspired. Well, it is the CGI one. The Villain's Lair. To be continued. Some more death metal instrumentals with Vader. Ah. Hello, Flying Scotsman and Green Arrow. It's an LNER party. LNERty.
That man is a nasty piece of work. The number of times
if you need any assistance.
I love how it's Green Arrow keeping Flying Scotsman's mannerisms in check, let's say. Yeah, larger than life engine.
I think I might know someone near Bridlington who can help.
Oh my, an adventure!
Merlin, Theo, Giraffe, and Lofty.
Especially Stove.
I had to find a reason to use the Journey Beyond Sodor engines, and this at least provided a little bit of comedy compared to some of the darker elements.
Oh, of course! Like that time at the steelworks. My invisibility never fails me.
You're kidding me.
He got hit by an enemy plane during the war and can't remember what happened.
Let's get to it. Invisibility!
See, I was never a big fan of Journey Beyond Sodor, but they had a few good character ideas in terms of personalities. Merlin was one of them. Again, Merlin's a model I don't have anymore, but hey-ho.
Invisibility off! Hello, Green Diesel.
I'm almost out of fuel. Osborne plans to scrap me and make you choose between saving me and the railway.
I'll distract him. Don't wait for me. Get back to Sodor.
Soda.
How did you get in here? Come back.
Maybe D261 believes in the invisibility power. Or not. Okay, there's a bit of a stylistic difference between my Osborne figure and the Ertl Fat controller. But, oh well, I couldn't get them both to match. Oh, some visible blue tack there, that's not good.
Okay, authorities it is. Say goodbye to your track record.
Sir Topham really was not intimidated at all. Good on him.
We'll see, but it looks like we're
Floating track, oh dear. I've reused that fence on my layout recently. That's a smart move by Pinchy. And what's going on Sodor? Bill and Ben are back, naturally.
If we don't, we'll be scrapped. I'm going as fast as I can. Trust me, I don't want you to be scrapped.
Frankie's soft side coming out, that's nice.
That will get them on
Oh,
our side.
enter Diesel.
All try and stop this mainland guy.
Why is everyone so against the idea? Sodor could really do
Oh, that sounds so much like Kerry Shale. It's a little bit unsettling. It's not Kerry Shale. Oh, there's a Batmobile. Batman is still around.
Okay, I'll switch tracks and shunt you across. What the?
Surprise, motherfucker. Oh, another finger. Yeah. Oh, Duke cameo.
Hawthorne is trying to get to the island in a diesel.
Emily cameo as well. I don't think we've seen her yet at all.
I'm the strongest engine in the world. The rest of you can go on the scrap pile for all I care. Now leave me alone.
Vinny is such an asshole. Oh, Bear to the rescue.
Don't worry, Emily. I'll cover your train. Go with him.
No. Well, Bear sort of to the rescue. Emily and Paxton to the rescue.
Yourself the embarrassment.
Failed rescue attempt. When this came out, I don't think everyone was expecting that either, but a little bit of Urtal track there you can see for the road vehicles. It makes a good fixable road surface that you can just put down and take up. Stepney and Fergus cameo there. Sodor really feels so much bigger in this compared to in the Ffarquhar Yards. Oh, a lot of my models all together. That's really fun to lay out and film.
CEO of Track Records and now controller of the Northwest.
Doused in shadow, nice.
Your railway will be absorbed into my own. And don't expect to be repaired. Everyone get back to work.
Brutal. Not as brutal as what I originally had in mind for the Scottish twins. Trust me, we'll get to that. Vinny just tried to shunt Diesel. And Harvey is being his helpful self, naturally. What's Diesel up to?
This idiot is still insisting I be a goods engine on Edward's branch line. The
Oh, he used the idiot
He
word.
won't give us Edward back, and the flying kipper's not moving until he does.
Oh, how the times have caught up with you.
That's uncanny.
That little rat is enjoying this.
We don't even know where Sir Topham is. It's the same problem with boats, so Captain can't get across.
Captain,
We're well and
as usual, not up to much.
Guess we'll just sit here gathering dust, then rust.
Dust.
Pardon?
Dust.
Dust?
I solved the first part of Junior's riddle. I know how we can get Sir Topham back.
Percy, of all characters, figuring things out. That's a turn up for the books. Right, episode 7.
I wonder what he'll say. Well, don't kneel to him.
Oh, Splatter and Dodge.
You remember? Yeah.
I was never going to include Splatter and Dodge in my original plans, but felt like we really needed to see them again, you know?
No. This isn't a dream.
We didn't know what happened to them after they stood up to Diesel 10, where they went, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I modelled them. Finding the right shades of green and purple was a pain, but eventually I got them to a point I was happy with them.
The green box? Yeah, working for you wasn't really that fun, boss. No offense. Sorry, former boss.
E93 was such a good splatter.
Take me.
Thank you, Toby. You're so brave.
Another little callback there to the Magic Railroad. A little bit of redemption for Toby as well after his previous failure. Ooh, that was a rough fade. Oh well. You can only do what you could do at that point.
Good morning. What are you doing here?
Good morning, Philip.
It's very dark for a morning. I love Annie and Clarabelle's warning there.
What'd you warn him for? I was looking forward to pummeling him in for good.
What has he ever done to
Oh,
you?
a savage.
Think you're an...
Oh, just you wait.
Vinny is actually quite threatening in this.
We don't need the likes of him.
I definitely dialed into those sadistic elements that he showed in The Great Race.
Right, now we just need to find the others.
They conspire.
But if it makes the engines less resistant to scrapping, we can move things along more quickly. It's a deal.
Wait, I'll get right on it.
It's Osborne's ruthless analysis there.
As weird as its railway fleet is, it feels like the most accepting, especially for oddity engines. I can second that.
Louis, you've been there for like a day, 2 days. I haven't... Oh well, maybe he's just that open-minded.
Hello.
More than ready to take Sodor back.
You betrayed the railway, then tried to save it. That was some turnaround.
I realized I'm not the only...
Can't pull wool over Toby's eyes, that's for sure.
The railway I was built on no longer exists.
Once you knew you were betrayed, all of a sudden we are in this together.
Listen,
I don't mean to...
Toby's giving Diesel 10 the
but I still think you...
politicians grilling, isn't he? Are you serving the people or just yourself?
You beyond doubt. I'm sorry. I hope you understand my apprehension.
Oh, that means a lot coming from you, Hattie. Is it too soon to ask for a hug?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, really not the best Goldust effects.
I wouldn't have believed it unless you guys were here.
Same here.
Oh, Thomas in trouble.
First one to go.
Yeah, he's not got his funnel there, has he? That must have snapped off while filming.
Go where? You'll see.
Some nice transitions. I can write in it well enough, I can direct well enough. Just having the time and money to properly do the sets, I think, that lets this down the most.
Where are you taking Thomas? But Philip, we don't know where the railway is, and neither does he.
Yeah, Arthur never really ran well after this. Oh yeah, that's a nice introduction to the smelters. And the grabber is back.
You were the only other engine to have been on the Magic Railroad. You were the only other candidate.
And the bombshell drops. Episode 8, Heat and Pressure. Part 1 of the finale, and the most popular Thomas episode I ever made. The only video I made that's got more views than this was my original model collection showcase. Let's see what the appeal still is.
Arthur, what are you two doing here?
Fishing line for the bridge.
Little engines can do big things.
He said it. He said the thing.
We can take you.
Arthur, get the police. I'll bring King Stanley
to the smelter.
Arthur's bringing the heat.
All meet there to bring our spawn down once and for all.
Is everyone clear on the plan?
Yes.
Oh, we got the flying kipper music.
Then let's reclaim
An orchestral version. Reneus cameo? Nice. Yeah.
The buffers are this way. Right this way.
Floating track again.
That's right.
I could have perhaps fixed a lot of those issues with more time, but this project already took up so much of my time. I don't know. Grabber time. Stepney gets lost flashbacks right there.
Osborn's plan isn't concerned with fixing the past, only looking towards a more positive future. And this is the most positive future I can imagine for myself.
It's actually quite a sad outlook, even for a villainous character. I wasn't afraid to go hard, well, harder than the franchise has gone here, was I? That was a quick zoom. Oh, guitar strings for levers, making use of what I had.
You led me to where I needed to go.
Big oil corporations. That lettering's still visible.
Nothing is above me. Now get out of my way.
No!
Vinny's arrogance would be his downfall.
I'll burn both of you.
You're weak if you're bowing down to Osborn's level and letting him deceive you.
Wisdom beyond Philip's years there.
He's huge. I mean, look at him. He's practically a big whale or something. I'm not going without you.
What did you say?
Oh, I said you were big and strong. I said nothing about whales. Well, get confused.
That is the worst cover-up anyone could give if they're caught making an unkind comment, but that was so funny. Uh-oh. More shaky cam.
What?
Ooh. So using a floating tanker, it was quite outside the box. I don't know if people actually enjoyed that or not, and if it delivered what I was trying to deliver, but oh well. It's what I went with. Oh yeah, Junior's been here before, hasn't he? So he knows about the inside of the smelters at least. This is where I had to get crafty with how all the action would actually work. That's James's cab, it's got the wrong windows.
Have you come to your senses or
But
surrendered?
there wasn't a picture of the inside of Edward's cab, so that's what I had to work with.
So badly you'll never return.
My large-scale Junior figure. Knocking Edward into motion. See, Junior has some brains when he uses them. He's not just a party animal.
Not anymore.
See, those large-scale scenes are some of the final ones I filmed for the entire series after I'd moved house for a second time.
Diesel 10! Junior needs help!
Threatening to throw him into the smelting pit, that's just dark. See, I know this is a bit like the Magic Railroad smelter scene, but I think with all the story around it, it still works to try and use it as a climax for the entire show, or the series anyway.
Must all perish. No.
See, I love the ambiguity there. Did he go in because the coupling snapped? Did he go in because he drove forward deliberately? Hurricane's face. That was the one bit of Hurricane I did manage to get finished, but didn't finish the model. I got to reuse it here as an example of sentience and the power of the Magic Railroad. And Vinny is now well and truly humbled. and confused.
Did that really happen?
His epiphany is complete.
Can you believe us now?
But the smelters, oh dear. Oh dear, the final cliffhanger. Who's going to make it out alive? Those people that did watch this as it was released loved and hated all those cliffhangers. But then, you know, it's part of storytelling, isn't it? Otherwise you won't come back. Anyway, the final episode, Terminus. A fitting name. Let's see how well it holds up today. It's been out for, what, 6 years now? 7 years? Something like that. So this is the longest episode at 22 minutes. Tying everything up. Picking up exactly where we left. Oh, the Jenga bricks. I couldn't afford to make casts of collapsing walls or anything, so Jenga bricks was the best I could come up with. Rubble, that's a bit of dry stone walling. Oh, that's got to be the worst effect in the series. I should have done better. And the gold dust has run out. See that chain around his neck with the little whistle on it? That was a spare H.O. Thomas whistle, just on a little bit of chain. It was in scale with a large scale figure and worked actually quite nicely. Spare chunks of plasticard. That's the best I had to work with. Corrugated sheets. Oh, textbook. I was really clutching at straws for things to flesh out the scenes with at this point. There was just no budget for me. So yeah, I waited all this time to use Diesel 10 in a production, and then I chose to kill him off. Because storytelling. There goes everything. Terminator 2 reference. That CG Pinchy was made specifically for the TCC, but Enterprising Engine 93 was kind enough to let me use it. Jenga blocks, the best way I could get a collapse. I mean, with all the green screen elements, it doesn't look as bad as I was expecting, but it still doesn't look great. That's a hell of a final shot for the main climax of the series. The smell of failure in the air. And the pack members are out to play as well, and Thumper to clear the rubble. Yeah, I've just gone with stop motion rather than trying to control them there. Although Byron's still on a fishing line.
So much destruction.
There's an engine in here.
Who is it?
We don't know who it is.
Yeah, the pack haven't met Louis yet. So, yeah, that works.
Those next to his line. He kind of shielded himself, but he chose me instead.
I guess he really had changed.
Yeah.
More than anyone could have imagined.
Nice little montage of Sodor getting back to normal and Daisy actually working. Frida cameo. She did make it in. I didn't cut all her scenes. I thought Wilbert went back to his railway. Oh well. Ah, Duke running as well, and you can see him struggling with 3 plastic kit coaches. See, I think this shot wraps up everything I was trying to achieve by coming to YouTube in the first place. Just the world of Sodor at home. You can make it yourself and make fun stories. And there's the island of Sodor book by Christopher Audrey as the backdrop. I just thought that was a really fitting, cheap way to do it. But fitting nonetheless.
May ye reminder, everyone can change for the better, and that ability is the real magic within.
And he said the thing. Now you see why I changed the series name once I got the draft nailed down. 10 out of 10 for heroic deeds and unparalleled strength. The throwbacks are subtle but strong all the way through this. All that's left is to tie up the loose ends.
You taught me that there's more to strength than just physicality. There's character and willpower. You're much stronger than me in both.
That is quite the humbling.
But this doesn't mean you can get in my way. I'll still crush ya.
Not fully humbled.
So you'd have to catch me.
Hey, where's our recognition?
To be fair, did we really do anything?
Moral support?
Yeah, they didn't do much in the original film, did they? So I guess it was only fitting that that was made light of.
That's a good point.
Thomas is still not in one piece. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, Thomas is now half normal E2, half extended E2. Missing part of his water tank extensions.
We are a family. Thank you all for everything you have done for me and the railway. I'm honoured to serve each and every one of you. Future.
Now that is the mark of a leader. The leader serves his followers as his followers serve him.
Our railways hold a special place in my heart and the hearts of many others. So we will continue to make it a special place for people to reminisce, live and discover.
Which is everything the Railway series and the TV show originally set out to do. Not so much anymore with the TV show, but not bringing that up now. Main man himself.
Junior.
I think that is an important message though, is not everything you do is going to be a success. You are going to have failures, and it's important not to let those outweigh the good that you might not see.
And it is home to the Guardian engine now.
It's now public knowledge.
Speaking of the Guardian, can we make them anonymous again?
Yeah.
And also aware that they are the Guardian?
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Of course, Thomas.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, here I go.
Edward heading onto the Magic Railroad. I don't think that's anything the fans ever expected to see, but that's why I did it myself. Yeah. It's a shame those sheds weren't more robust. They've unfortunately been destroyed during house moves. Magic Man.
Aye, but I'm the yard manager now. Splodge.
You were the one who was supposed to find the truck with the construction barriers in it.
Me? I was sorting the train you forgot about, remember?
No, I don't.
That's why I was doing it.
Why is it that the twins in Thomas are always the ones that are the most fun to write? Splatter and Dodge, Bill and Ben, Donald and Douglas. Odd trend. Odd trend indeed. Now the final scene. Ending with the island song as well.
Will remain a peak generations to come. The magical land where dreams come true.
bit on the nose, but it hits the sentiment of Sodor so perfectly. Oh, and that was the end. So I think, on the whole, it was better than I remember. Competently written, competently planned and executed. I think it's only really the sets themselves that let it down. They certainly do look cheap, but I've got to remember, when I did YouTube 10 years ago, Thomas Productions, they were just people at home. They weren't these high budget, ultra realistic, 3D printed, at home, made with the exact same processes used to construct the original props. Times have just moved on so much since I made this, and yeah, the story stands strong, the characters, the voice acting performances all stand strong for the most part, so it's still a rather enjoyable watch. I'm glad that I've sat down, gone through it again, given my thoughts, picked out a few holes I really should have spotted at the time, but hey ho. I do really wish I just did it on better sets, I guess. I know when I finished this, I did have a plan to make it into a massive supercut. So basically make it into the 2+ hour film that it really is. But again, time, not having all the elements after 2 house moves kind of stopped me from doing that properly. So, I know I promised a few extra bits off the back of this, and we have a couple of, I still have a couple of the, I would say, most significant little props I made for the series. So here we have Diesel 10's tiny little memorial using a little Trackmaster pinchy accessory. I think it came with the Rebecca release, where she came with all those additional attachments she wore in that one dream sequence in that one episode I don't care enough to remember. So yeah, this is still knocking around. I've had to fix it once or twice over the years, but I thought it's nice enough, a little token to keep from the series. I've already shown Thomas off. There he is again, still wearing quite a sad face, I think. I don't think I've even changed this face since I finished filming, so I'm just gonna keep it on him. Keep it on him, that's for sure. And then I still have my painted large-scale figures of Junior and Osborne. These are repainted character options Primeval figures. So this is James Lester, or was James Lester, Ben Miller's character from Primeval. He's lost his hat, you can still see the glue ring and where the hair was only partially repainted underneath the hat. And I just used paper to extend the jacket into a bit more of a waistcoat than a suit jacket. And yeah, he looks quite nice, very bashed up after those stop motion fights. And I have Junior, who was the character options figure for Connor Temple from Primeval, played by Andrew Lee Potts. And I think the figure, the hair had a good resemblance, just repainting the clothing, got it close enough to Junior. The scarf as well, the little chain for a pocket watch, all things that Junior, you know, from the fashion sense we saw in the Magic Railroad, would have had. So yeah, these were fun little things to model, a bit different from the norm. And yeah, they're still knocking around. Obviously there's no way I can use them for anything going forward. So they're just, again, little mementos from all the time, blood, sweat, little bit of money and effort that I put into this series. And the final prop, that isn't just a boring building or anything that I'm going to show off today, is the grabber. I really wanted to incorporate the grabber somehow into the series because Stepney Gets Lost was just one of those haunting episodes from when I was a kid. So I made one out of like coffee stirrers, some balsa wood, some bits of guitar string for like the piping or cables or whatever they are. And this was held between two planks of wood so that I could just slide it back and forth, raise it up and down as I needed in the episode. And yeah, it's proved robust and cool enough that I've decided not to throw it away. Could I incorporate it into something in the future? I don't know, I doubt it, but again, just another little keepsake that I'm glad I have. So, we've seen what ended up in the final cut of The Magic Within, but what didn't make it into the final cut? I went back through all the previous script drafts that I have, and I didn't actually keep any of the ones featuring plots or characters that I cut. So everything I'm going to mention now is just what I can remember to the best of my ability. So take some of my ideas with a pinch of salt. They may not be complete or make 100% logical sense because I might not remember all of the logic. But I know Ashima was definitely in one of the earlier script drafts because I bought the World of Sodor's scratch-built model of her. She was a free-rolling model. Again, it just felt like I was trying to shoehorn models in for the sake of using models, so she was cut back out of the script. Lady, as you saw, was killed off in quite the comical fashion, and that was because I tried 3 times to build a model of Lady that would run using the old tried method of a Ertl Lady and a Bachmann Percy chassis, but I can never grind out the die-cast supports from the Ertl Lady to a satisfactory degree to get the chassis to fit. Something would always break, and in the end I just decided to not waste any more money on trying to make a Lady prop and wrote her out of the series. Which is a shame. I got all of the other Magic Railroad characters in there, but not her, unfortunately. So yeah, she's the one that got away. If Bachmann had made a model of her, she would have been in it, but I just couldn't get myself to make one satisfactorily, so to speak. Other characters, there are little nuggets of characters in there that show what could have been, but weren't. Ryan, as well, was also going to have a mildly villainous arc at some point. I can't remember exactly why or what led up to it, but I know in my head there was a scene that I wrote where Ryan was blocking Louis and Diesel 10 from getting into the Diesel Works to save Thomas. And they had to sort of talk him back round. I think, what led up to that? Was it Ryan was not happy with his life on Sodor? I think that... Was he being put down by people? I can't remember, but he eventually decided to side with Osborn in D261. Now I'm thinking about it again, it doesn't make too much sense, which is probably why I cut it. So I got rid of it. Ryan only has cameos. I wanted to use the model, which is why he was in the background. I think he had 1 or 2 lines in there. The big one that I remember cutting was having Oliver in an antagonistic role. And I know you're all going to think, Tobias and the half-pariah, it's been done before. But I took a different approach with Oliver. When Osborn got control of the island, and the trauma of having to escape from Scrap caught up with Oliver, he was the one that tried to make a deal with D261, as well as Vinny, so there was more deals going on than we saw in the actual series. Oliver tried to barter for his life, pretty much. And to do that, he gave up the fact that... No, this was the cut before I introduced the Thomas explosion, because Thomas was still alive and running. And, yeah, so... Sorry, backtracking slightly. I wrote Lady out, made Thomas the Guardian. When Osborn took over Sodor, they decided to hide Thomas away on the Little Western. Donald, Douglas, Duck and Oliver were in on it. But Oliver, stricken by past trauma of having to escape from Scrap once before, souls Thomas out to try and save his own neck. And that then led to the scene that I wasn't quite ballsy enough to actually make, because I knew it was one scene too far and would not go down well at all in the fandom. It was D261 goes to steal Thomas from the Little Western, but Donald and Douglas block him on a viaduct. And what happens is, I think it's, was it Donald or Douglas? But you can see where this is going. One of the twins was protecting Thomas off the other side of the viaduct. One of the twins was on the viaduct holding ground. And D261 just shoves one of the Scottish twins, I can't remember which, off of the viaduct. And basically murders them using gravity. And I think murdering one of the Scottish twins right in front of the other one, it just went too brutal and too dark. And when I got rid of the Oliver arc, because at the end of the series, Oliver was going to have to live with the guilt of what had happened as a result of him trying to save himself. I think it all just got a bit too dark and melodramatic there, so I just cut all of that out. That brought the episode count down as well, which is why I only ended up with 9 and not 12. But that being said, that was going to segue into a potential sequel that I was thinking of, which involved Oliver trying to redeem himself. The Engines wanted to exile him from Sodor after finding out his part in Thomas getting captured, almost smelted, the Scottish twins' deaths, that kind of thing. They viewed him as a betrayer of everything that the North Western Railway stood for. Oliver, in the sequel that never got made, got sent to the mainland, ended up meeting Hurricane, who was, I don't know whether it was what happened in Journey Beyond Sodor canon completely. Well, I guess I had Merlin in the end, so yes. But yeah, Oliver and Hurricane hatch a plan. This was assuming that my Hurricane model would work and come back to me in working order. But they would hatch a plan and try and take revenge on Sodor in some regard. But again, I never got too far in the developmental process. There was going to be an action scene involving a nuclear flask wagon and a smelting wagon, sort of heightening the tension, but then it was starting to get all a little bit too Michael Bay for my liking. So I binned off the idea of a sequel. I think in part that was due to exhaustion from trying to deliver this entire series, coordinating everything, as I've already said. And at that point, I'd moved into another house with absolutely no space to do any of these large temporary sets, so I just thought, time to hang my hat up here as well. I've made the series I wanted to make, told the story I wanted to tell, and the note it ends on, that I can see now from rewatching it, was the right point to stop with these type of videos. So yeah, I'm caught in a bit of a halfway house. I'm kind of a little bit, let's just say, nostalgic that I didn't, a little bit disappointed I didn't make some of those Ffarquhar Yard episodes that I wrote scripts for but then never made. But I also feel that with The Magic Within, it was the right point for me to just stop and be happy with what I had done. Watching all these has not convinced me to go back and start making Thomas episodes again, start up the old production line and shed and bring out all the characters, because it was a lot of work. I don't have the space and time anymore. I don't have a lot of these character models anymore. Yes, I have spare scripts, but I'm not going to make episodes of them because I feel like it now. My main takeaway from this is I kind of miss having a designated Thomas-themed layout. I kind of miss some of the character pairings that I could write stories about that I knew hadn't been done before. But yeah, I guess this was a fun trip down memory lane, if nothing else. I'm glad that I did this when I did. I'm glad I still have it to watch. I'm glad all of you still enjoy it to this day. And yeah, it's got me thinking a bit, where do I go from here? Maybe I'll adapt some of those Ffarquhar Yards stories into maybe a little audiobook, like I did with my Wild Engines Railway Series concept. Maybe not. Let me know if that's something that you'd like to see me do, sort of spruce these stories up and at least tell them in some form. But yeah, that is a long, long time I've spent sitting and chatting and watching The Magic Within. The series itself is over 2 hours long. I've added chat about the production, what didn't happen. Now to condense it all into a nice video for you. So at this point, you'll be at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed what was included. And yeah, that is now 3 videos into my rather unplanned series going through the last 10 years of my channel. And I still have more. I promised that I would answer some questions that I let you ask me. I've got the Island Swan Song as well I've not even mentioned yet. That was what really sort of bookended my storytelling in Thomas, I think, from my old Trained Assassin days. And I was also going to talk a little bit about the future of the channel as well, because obviously over the last year or so, 2 years even, I've been showcasing my new layout build, looking at new models that have come to market as well as a little bit more of a general model railway channel. But I think there's going to be a change of direction again going forward from next year, so that is something that I want to talk about. So definitely check back in with what is hopefully, the 4th and final video for the 10th anniversary of this channel, which will be up very shortly. So until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.